Hey folks, this is Evan from Stock Music Musician, and today I have a comparison of Splice and LoopCloud by Loopmasters. These are two really good pieces of sample management software and also sample libraries using innovative designs to get you sample management easier in 2019. So I've done reviews of these previously, but today I want to focus a little bit more on kind of how they stack up with each other. The first thing I'm going to say is, before we go any further, if you have any questions or comments, or if you've used some other library like sounds.com or something like that, leave a comment down below with your experiences with them. I'm always interested in learning more about how people are experiencing these. Also, I'm going to cut to the chase already. The conclusion of this review is that you absolutely need to get LoopCloud because it's free and it's amazing. There's a link down below. Download it. I'll explain why later. The other thing is Splice is really, really good for certain people, but based on the fact that it uses a subscription model that you have to pay $7 or $8 a month for, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. All right, that's the recap or the summary. Now let's get into the differences. So we're going to cover software, we're going to cover the quality of the samples, and we're going to cover pricing. So the first thing I want to talk about is the software. Here, LoopCloud 4.0 is hands down the winner. It is an amazing piece of software, and I would say probably one of the best free pieces of software for managing, well, period. Best free pieces of software for music, period. Everybody should go to that link down below and download it, because what it does is it manages your entire sample library. It categorizes it in this incredibly intuitive, powerful database where you can search by type of instrument or key or tempo, and it can adjust those all on the fly so that everything fits together. It also has a pretty powerful sample tweaker, chopper, resampler built into it, so you can kind of deconstruct your own loops before you drop them into your song, and it's a powerhouse that lets you access your samples in new and interesting ways. Highly recommended. The Splice app is good, but all it does is it manages the samples that you download from Splice. It lets you search through them, sort them by key, tempo, maybe, different types of instruments, that sort of thing. And that's helpful for managing your Splice samples, but it only does the Splice samples, and it only helps you sort of find things, which is good. But the big plus of the LoopCloud is not only that it's a super powerful piece of software, but it works for every sample. A sample you bought on Splice, a sample you bought from Loopmasters, a sample you made by yourself or that you bought from some other third party. So hands down, LoopCloud is the winning piece of software, and also just an incredible piece of software whether you download any samples or anything. Now let's talk about the quality of the sample libraries. So it used to be that LoopCloud's or Loopmasters loops and samples are available on were available on Splice. They're no longer available on Splice, so now we're really comparing apples to oranges. Splice, I think, has the better size of the library, and it has a much vaster array of unique sounds. So as a producer trying to do electronic music or something, if you're looking for a bubble sound or 80 different whooshes or a shattering glass or a rifle shot or a crazy trumpet or a lot of normal things, a lot of normal good sounding things, vocal chops, I think Splice has a much wider variety of sounds. And the quality of the sounds on Splice are excellent. The quality of the sounds on Loopmasters are excellent as well. So in terms of the variety, Splice totally wins. In terms of the quality, they're both equally good. I think it's just that there's more on Splice, which kind of makes sense based on their models. Now we're going to turn to pricing. So Splice charges, I think, $7 or $8 a month, and what that does is that gets you 100 downloads. You can download one sample here, one sample there, a la carte from all of the sample packs they have. So if you're the type of producer that has a pretty well-established sample library that you're drawing from, and you just need to fill in the blanks here and there, that monthly pricing is a really good choice, but you also have to be producing enough music to really justify that many new samples and slotting them in. In contrast, LoopCloud is totally a la carte. There's no subscription. It's just like, you want that? It's kind of like iTunes. You want that song? All right, that's going to be 30 cents. You want that? That's going to be $1. That's going to be 50 cents. They don't actually use prices, and the price varies for each sample. But more or less, there's a few different tiers of prices. It's all affordable. It's a la carte, no subscriptions. And so I think in that respect, it's a no-brainer to at least have LoopCloud and get what you need when it's available. Overall, I think it's a better value if you're still in the stage where you're building up your catalog to buy full-on sample packs from LoopCloud or from Sample Magic or from anybody, not this a la carte stuff, because it's much cheaper when you're building up your library for just buy full-on packs and buy 5 or 6 packs in areas that you're interested in. So like, if you're into lo-fi hip-hop, buy 5 or 6 different packs that are sort of adjacent to that. And that's going to be a much better value. Drop those all into LoopCloud, have that manage your samples, and then from there, maybe you're going to a la carte on Splice, maybe a la carte on LoopCloud. So I think there's slightly different value propositions. I think you have to get LoopCloud if you're a musician making music in 2019. And I think a lot of producers, especially on the more professional level, will get something out of Splice just because of its vast library and the ability to find exactly what you're looking for every time you need it. That's really, I'd pay $8 a month for that, even if I just downloaded 5 or 6 samples, if it was the exact sample I needed. But I don't think that's a lot of people's situation. That's more for like production music if you're producing at a high and fast clip. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, please let me know your thoughts on these 2 different sites or on any other sites that you've used that you've enjoyed. So with that, I'm going to leave you with one final piece of advice, or maybe a request. Please like and subscribe to this channel, because that's how we grow and that's how we stay informed. Thanks.